This is the Cubs POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Chicago Cubs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Locked On Cubs POSTCAST here on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. We go live for 15 to 20 minutes after every single Cubs game. Joe George here with you as the Cubs win 10-0. Start the series off strong at Wrigley North in Milwaukee with the win over the Brewers. Fun game. 7 runs in the second inning. Ben Brown, 6 innings, shutout ball. Cubs don't give up a run in this game. Crow-Armstrong, he's a superstar. 2 home runs in this game. We're going to talk about all of it. Michael Busch, first career grand slam. Ben Brown, again, his quality start. A short rant on Apple TV at the very end of the show because I have thoughts about the broadcast today, but lots to get into. Happy Friday. Welcome into the comments. Welcome into the comments as well. Here on YouTube, we'll react to what you guys are saying, your questions as well. But the Cubs, they smashed the Brewers. I mean, this offense is so much fun. If they have a down game, you know they're going to bounce back, and they just continually put up big numbers against teams. I mean, they have been so much fun this season. Really good pitching again. And before we get into the player of the game and things like that, I want to start with Ben Brown. Ben Brown, 6 innings pitch. Doesn't give up any earned runs in this game. Only gives up 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks. No walks is huge for Ben Brown. You know, that's been a problem for him at times this season. So really awesome to see him go out there and handle his business the way he did. And then Chris Flexen comes in. He gets a save, actually, in this game because he pitched 3 innings of baseball. 3 innings, only gives up 1 hit, 4 strikeouts himself, 2 walks. So really nice effort from Chris Flexen as well. So great starting pitching, great bullpen pitching for the Cubs today. Helps you easily get the win, but also your offense was incredible in the first 2 innings. I mean, it hanged 9 runs in the first 2 innings, 2 runs in the first, 7 runs in the second. They smashed them, and it was loud and clear that it was Wrigley North again, as it usually is in Milwaukee. But the Cubs fans were loud there at this game today, and they were cheering loud for this guy. We'll get right into it, our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
We're going to go 2 players on this one, actually. Crow-Armstrong, 2 home runs in this game. PCA now on this season. His average is up to 271. He goes 2 for 5 with 2 solo home runs, so 2 RBIs himself in this one. And Michael Busch hits the grand slam that really broke this thing wide open for the Cubs. We'll call that, we won't play the graphic, but we'll call that the turning point of this game as well, because that's when it felt like, okay, this ball game is over when he hit that. I mean, they're getting guys on, they're moving them over, and then Michael Busch just breaks this thing open with his first career grand slam. I was reading some of the comments in the chat before the show actually started. Saw Becky and a couple others talking about all-stars for the Cubs, that the Cubs could have at least 3 all-stars. Definitely agree with that. I mean, the way that Crow-Armstrong, Michael Busch, and of course Kyle Tucker are playing right now, you can see 3 all-stars. And then you can see 4. Seiya Suzuki has been fantastic this season. I mean, doesn't have a big night tonight. Obviously had 2 home runs the other day, goes 1 for 5 in this one. But he's hitting 291. He has the highest batting average of the regular guys in the lineup. It's higher than Kyle Tucker. It's higher than Nico Horner. It's higher than Crow-Armstrong. So Suzuki's had a great season. Michael Busch has had a great season. Kyle Tucker, Crow-Armstrong, all these guys have been great this year. And it's why the Cubs have the best offense in baseball. It's why, you know, it's, as I have here on the graphic, just another 10-run game. Like, that's what they do. Like, they hang up 10 or more runs, it feels like, at least once a week on a team, because that's what this lineup can do, because they can do everything. They can get guys on, they can move them, they can take walks, they can play small ball, and as we saw again in this one, they can hit it deep. I mean, we saw them hit 3 home runs off Paul Skeens in the game yesterday. We saw whatever day that was. I can't remember what day of the week it was. My brain's fried on a Friday night. We see them hit 3 home runs in this game, 2 from Crow-Armstrong and the 1 from Michael Busch. They can do everything in this offense. So it's why they've been so good this year. But Crow-Armstrong, he is a superstar. I mean, watching him play, it's we're all so excited about Kyle Tucker being a Cub, and we should be. But I think the most exciting part of this season for me is the development of Crow-Armstrong and Michael Busch. And yeah, Busch has his moments where it leaves some to be desired. He's not totally there yet. We saw him just start against a lefty for the first time this season the other day. But PCA just does everything you want a player to do. And again, if you look at WAR, he's one of the top 6 players in baseball this year. He's absolutely going to be an all-star. He's going to be out there with Kyle Tucker. And frankly, they both might be starters because we know how passionate our fans are. And it wouldn't shock me if Cubs fans put PCA and Kyle Tucker into the starting lineup of the all-star game. And frankly, it already feels like they deserve to be there because it doesn't feel like they're slowing down. And I think what I love the most about PCA is I love his anger with himself. Like we saw it in the game yesterday. Like he gets so mad at himself when things aren't going well. Like he throws the bat on the ground. He's screaming at himself because he has such high expectations clearly for him. And then when he gets it going, he's just fun to watch. But I love with the intensity that PCA plays with. And, you know, it's pay both those guys. I've said it before, but as much as we all want them to lock up Kyle Tucker, they should be locking up PCA right now, buying out years of free agency because he just continues to prove day after day that he's a freak. Like he's an absolute freak for the Chicago Cubs. And it is honestly, it's been a blast watching this team this season, and this win today just kind of epitomizes all of that, I would say, with the starting lineup. And again, Michael Busch, first career grand slam, very cool moment to see for him. But it's been a lot of fun. Like, and I think the other thing I really love about the Cubs right now is that there are clear holes on this roster. They're 7 games above 500, and they can fix it. They can figure out third base. There's been a lot of talk this week on the local radio stations about like how they're going to fill third base, what they're going to do, and how they're going to fix the bullpen. They can fix those things. Like they can absolutely fix those things. And it just means this Cubs team that's 7 games above 500 can just get better. And it's really exciting. And the other reason, again, why they can just get even better, you know, from an example of tonight's game is what we saw from Ben Brown. Like he, you know, has had innings where we talked about after his last start. I was like, maybe he's better off in the bullpen because typically the third time through the lineup, he struggles. And that wasn't a problem today. He only threw 73 pitches in this game, which is very good compared to what it was like 2 starts ago. He only threw 4 innings, but threw 100 pitches in that game. So we're seeing Ben Brown have a bounce back in this one as well, which was nice to see because he can be electric. I mean, he still needs another pitch, but he can be, you know, a key guy for the Cubs in the future, and he should be a key guy for the Cubs in the future, I think. So really nice start from him, and just great game for the offense. I mean, this lineup is deep and it's talented and it's legit and it's built for winning. You know, it's built for winning a lot more than just regular season baseball games. And like, there's a lot that goes into that, but you got to do more than you can to fix this team and to add to this team later on. But it's just that this offense is built to go on a run this year. And I think this is a great comment here. 2015 to 2016 vibes. Yes, I totally agree. Like it's the most fun the Cubs have been probably since 2017, I would say. Like the 2017, 2018 seasons, but definitely like 2015, 2016, the most fun it's been watching the Cubs on a night in and night out basis. Even on the bad days, it's more fun because there feels like there's a reason to be angry when they don't perform well. It's not like, you know, how it's been recently where it's just like, they're just bad. This year, it feels like the expectations have been raised, and I love going to Milwaukee and getting wins. I want them to win this series so bad. I loved going to Milwaukee growing up. We did it all the time, like 2-hour drive from Huntley, Illinois. Wrigley North is a good time, and I love going up there with Cubs fans. So really want to see them win this series. But again, Pete Crow-Armstrong, he's a superstar. So we'll take a break. We'll talk more about this game, your reactions to it, your thoughts on what we're talking about here, and we'll talk about the Apple TV broadcast and everything else you guys want to get to here on a Friday night. That's all coming up next year on the Locked On Cubs postcast on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. Today's show is brought to you by Amazon Fire Stick TV Stick 4K. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to go. Dive into hundreds of premium titles, including EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty, as easily as you stream your favorite shows. If you've already got a console, the Fire TV Stick 4K device is more affordable and easier to travel with, which is huge. Like if you're going to a hotel, I'm going out of town. I'll be back in Chicago next week. I'll be going to the game on Wednesday. You can travel with this as well, so that way you can play games on the road. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd gen. All right, real quick on the Apple broadcast. I can't stand that they do this thing. It cut out for me in the 2nd inning. The Cubs got a runner on second base, and all of a sudden, by the time it came back, I was following on ESPN, but bases are loaded, and Kyle Tucker was up to the plate. I had no idea what was going on. It just turned off on me. I'm sure it did for other people too. I saw Sam tweeting about the same thing. That's a terrible product. I do love that you can listen to the radio broadcast. I think that's really cool. It's been a long time since I don't live in the area right now. It's been a long time since I've actually gone on listened to Pat Hughes on the radio. That was really cool. It's been a long time since I've done that, but why do they make it so hard to watch these games? I didn't even have the Apple TV subscription until tonight. I thought I could use MLB TV. I don't understand why they make it so challenging to watch these games. I know it's we're supposed to be just talking about the Cubs here, but it drives me nuts how sometimes baseball makes it harder to watch their products. Yeah, everyone's saying here in the chat, they lost it for 3 minutes. They thought it was their connection. Me too. I thought it was a me problem. It wasn't. It was a them problem. So just a quick rant there. But back to the game tonight. Crow-Armstrong, just a little bit more on him, what he's done this year. We knew that trade was going to age well for the Cubs. It felt like early on, especially seeing what Javier Baez, who's also playing center field right now. I think he robbed a home run the other day for the Tigers, which is interesting to say the least. But we kind of felt like the Cubs were going to get the right side of that, right? Javi struggled pretty quickly when he got to Detroit. It wasn't pretty. Now, but what he's done, and I know there have been trades when you think about the Dylan Cease, trading him away, or Eloy, and obviously Eloy didn't work out for the White Sox, but trading away Dylan Cease is hurt, right? He's been awesome wherever he's gone. He's been fantastic. But Crow-Armstrong, that trade, I feel like we don't discuss it enough for really what it's doing for this team right now. And, it's interesting, people talk about the lineup and where he belongs in it. And again, I love where he's hitting in the lineup right now. I think they made the only lineup change they needed to, which is moving Dansby Swanson down in the order. And again, in this game, we saw him. He goes 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. But he, again, he's been, so that puts him at what now? Quick math here, 7 for 15 since he's moved to the 8th spot in the order. So he's done a really good job, it seems like adjusting since he moved down. And everything else besides that, I love Ian Happ leading off. He continues to do what he needs to at the top of the lineup. He goes, 1 for 2 today, but he gets on base 3 times, a hit and 2 walks. That's what you need. You look at on base percentage, he's got the second highest on base percentage of anyone on the Cubs. Him at 375, Kyle Tucker at 394, and Seiya Suzuki at 359. The top 3 guys in your lineup, they're just getting on base so much, and that's why really they are just really controlling a lot of the games this season. And it really feels like they should be well above 7 games above 500. They've let some games get away from them. They obviously have a couple games, 3 on the season, where the bullpen has given up 8 earned runs or more. And if you take those out, you're 10 games above 500 if you win those games. So they just continue to really do a great job of building against teams. And it's not just, and that's what we'll talk about here for a little bit before we wrap up today. The second inning before Michael Busch hits the grand slam. It's what they did before that I think is what's making the Cubs so impressive, and we saw it play out in this game. So the bases are loaded. Kyle Tucker's up. Kyle Tucker hits a single, so it's 3-0 Cubs. Bases still loaded. Seiya Suzuki gets the pop single right into no man's land, so it's 4-0 Cubs. Bases still loaded. You get the ground out where the runner was thrown out at home, so it's bases loaded with 1 out, and then you get the grand slam from Michael Busch. It's 8-0, and then Crow-Armstrong hits the home run himself, and all of a sudden it's a 9-0 game. But to have multiple guys come to the plate and bring someone home with singles, and then the big guy, Michael Busch, comes up and hitting the grand slam, it just shows that's what the Cubs can do to anyone. And we saw what the Brewers' strategy was in this game, and this, to me, was another really important part of today's game. Just the fact that the Brewers were going to go with an opener, and he got 2 outs. Yeah, Alexander got 2 outs, gave up 2 earned runs. If you're going to go with the opener strategy, you need that guy for a team. I'll say I hate it. It's one of my least favorite things about baseball. I know the Tampa Bay Rays started it. Unless you're in a desperate situation, I feel like with injuries and later in the season, that's the only time I'm really okay with it. But we saw them, they go with the opener situation, and then they just go through and they just go in and like they knock them out in 2 innings. So just another example of getting to them early, getting to the Milwaukee Brewers, and you put them below 500 for the first time this year, and you go to 7, above 7 games, above 500. All right, before we wrap up, if you got any questions, comments you want to get into, drop them here in the chat, and we will get to our what you'll be talking about after this game.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, what you're going to be talking about after this game, there's a couple things. We'll start with Crow-Armstrong. Obviously, again, superstar player, 2 home runs in the game. Pay that man his money. He deserves it right now. Love beating the Milwaukee Brewers. And I actually think the All-Star conversation that was happening, again, if you missed it earlier in the chat before the show started about how many All-Stars the Cubs could be having, are going to be, is going to be a topic of conversation that's starting to happen. It feels like that's where the tide is changing for Cubs fans. Is there's a level of excitement around this team that we just haven't had in so many years. It's just so much more fun to be talking about All-Stars and what this team can do, and how do you make this team a World Series contender by what you add. How do you manage this team going forward? But so I think that's everything that Cubs fans are be talking about. But the lead story right now is definitely it's PCA and just what he continues to do across, for the Cubs across the season, whether it's in the batter's box and hitting home runs to, getting on base and stealing bases. He can turn a single into a double basically any time with stolen bases, and he continue to do a great job in center field, which we expect him to do for his entire career. I mean, he's elite in the outfield. Let's see. Eric asks here, Joe, as beloved as Javi was, where do you put the trade for PCA in the history of MLB? That's a big question, Eric. That's a big one. I mean, PCA's got a long way to go, I think, for it to be like one of the best trades in Major League Baseball history. Now on pace guy, if I want to do that, like on pace guy, like I'd say yes. It's on its way to being one of the best trades in Cubs history and one of the best trades in baseball history. Javi doesn't stay with the Mets. He goes in and obviously goes and signs with Detroit. He hasn't been great. Crow-Armstrong has been phenomenal, and it really feels like this team, he is just on the cusp of what he can be, and that feels like one of the best players in baseball. And that's why it's so important to me to re-sign Kyle Tucker and to lock him up for both the next decade. I mean, you might have, the best outfield in the game for the next 10 years if both those guys are locked up. So it's early to answer that question, I would say, about how great this trade is, but it feels like, gut feeling, it is going to be an all-time steal for the Cubs to get PCA in that deal with the Mets for Javier Baez. So a lot of great stuff from the Cubs in this game. Again, shout out to Ben Brown, 6 innings, no earned runs, and then you get 3 quality innings out of Flexen as well. He gets the save again in this one. So fun day for the Chicago Cubs. We'll be back tomorrow for another postcast as soon as the second game of this Cubs and Brewers season series wraps up right here on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. So remember, hit that subscribe button, come hang out with us, and hopefully they will lock up a series win already tomorrow and then be going for the sweep on Sunday. So thanks for watching. We will talk to you tomorrow night, and peace.